Sounds app on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
And on your radio.
The sound of where we live is
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
A new football club's been set up in the county aiming to give Caribbean players the chance to shine. It's been set up by Ricky Santos, who's a Gloucestershire-based businessman from Antigua. There are 2 players from Montserrat and 2 from Antigua. The rest of the Generation Next squad is made up of Cheltenham Town development players. Ricky Santos says he hopes to develop their careers.
We wanted to give our lads back home the opportunities to showcase their talent up in England. We do have a lot of connections with a lot of clubs. It is difficult to get them trials up here. So if we had our own club here, then it'll be that much easier. We'll just facilitate them to come up here, play, get exposed, and hopefully go up the ladder to a higher level.
Caribbean, playing in the Cheltenham League on a Saturday is a new experience, of course, because of the English winter weather as well. But there are players from Montserrat and Antigua who are playing for a new club in Gloucestershire called Generation Next FC. It's been set up by Antiguan businessman Ricky Santos, who now lives in Dimmock with his Gloucestershire-born wife. He's very passionate about giving opportunities for Caribbean players to get into and have a chance at playing in English football. And Generation Next has teamed up with Cheltenham Town and is made up of players from the Caribbean and also some of the young development players at Cheltenham Town. And I went along to one of their recent matches to meet some of the players and also to meet the man who set it all up.
All right, so yeah, in terms of the team then, as I said in the changing rooms, you'll be number 10. All right, okay. So in terms of shape, 3 at the back. Sean, do you go centre half or right centre half? Centre half, okay. And you've got Amali and Lorenzo either side of you, all right, okay.
It's Saturday afternoon, we're pitch side here and Generation Next are just kicking off. Generation Next second in the table so far. They're having a really good first season. They've had the team talk and now it's time to perform on the pitch.
Antoine Thompson, I'm the academy manager at Cheltenham Town Football Club and also director of football in terms of Generation Next.
Tell us a bit about the club, introduce us to the club, because it's a mixture, isn't it, of Caribbean players and English players.
So Cheltenham Town, we have a lot of college programmes. There's boys there, gives an opportunity to play football, whereas Ricky comes into it and the Generation Next side of it is that he wants the opportunity for Caribbean boys that come over from the Caribbean that are studying at Hartpury College and other sort of former colleges like that in the country, is to give those guys an opportunity to play football at a decent level and also get minutes and play football. So for him, it's his club, so it kind of controls their game time to a degree. Where we come as Cheltenham Town is the issue is that we don't have enough. You won't have enough players to fulfil, just one team of Caribbeans. That makes sense. So that's where we come into it. It's a win-win situation. Our boy gets to play, his boy gets to play, and we teamed up well to give them opportunities to play football.
So we've got 2 from Antigua and 2 from Montserrat. Are the styles very different?
Yeah. I think the Caribbean players that have come over, they're warming to the different style of football, of English football. Yeah, different. Yeah, I'll give you that. And also the weather as well.
Well, this is it, you see. They've been describing the weather in Montserrat. We know about the weather in Antigua, of course. Sunny, warm most of the time. This is something that they have to adapt to.
Yes, definitely. Like today, it's chilly. But for me, it's okay. But for them, they got all the tights on, the skins on, the gloves on. Want to wear a hat, but not allowed. So, yeah.
Hat, gloves, if they can do. Yeah, they're warming
sure.
up at the moment, certainly. And what do you see happening in the future with this club that's just started and actually are doing pretty well, second in the league? But how do you see it progressing? Will there be more Caribbean players, do you think, in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to think so. I hope so. So, again, it's an opportunity for them to come over to here and to study, do university, college in the UK. For us, we want to go up the leagues ultimately to get the boys the best opportunity to play at the highest level they can.
Are you giving the team talk? Are you about to go and give the team talk this afternoon?
I am. Our actual manager's not here at the moment. He's running late, so I'm going to go over and prep the boys and take it from there. Strikers. Then we're playing between their full-back and their centre half. Okay, and then just straight down the middle of the throat and get in the box and score some goals. All right, okay. And out of possession, like I said, get our shape and work from that.
Yeah, and off they went to play the match. That was Antoine Thompson, thanks to him, from Cheltenham Town. He's also Director of Football at Generation Next. Now, you're captain of the team, Amali. We're just about to watch you play here in Cheltenham. You're new to the county, to the UK. What's it been like playing for this team?
It's been very nice. I like the guys. They helped me out a lot on the team. to better myself in a lot of ways. They teach me a lot as well. I learned a lot since I came here.
And what's it like? I know you're at a different level here, but is it a different kind of football, different style of football you're playing?
Over here it's much better, the pitch-wise, the weather, because in Antigua it's very hot. So it's very nice, much better over here.
So it's actually, you're okay with the English winter?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm
Are you
adapting.
sure?
Yes, I'm
You're
adapting.
adapting?
Yeah.
And what are your hopes in football? Is it the Antigua national team? Is it climbing the leagues here? Is it both?
Yeah, I'll say both, because I want to rep my country, and I still want to play a lot more here and get to a higher level.
That's Dr. Sydney Mendes from Montserrat. Now, paint a picture of what it's like. It's a bit cold and grey here in Cheltenham.
If you visit Montserrat right now, you'll be experiencing sunshine. Montserrat is a small British overseas territory in the Caribbean, just roughly about 39 square miles. So it's very small, but it's one community and I love it.
So what brought you to Gloucestershire?
Well, basically, I must thank Ricky Santos, of course. He set up a ID camp, so to call it. So what happened is that Hartbury College came down and then they recruited us. So I'm actually here in my second year of college at the Hartbury College playing football.
Let's talk to Seigel, who's in the national team then for Montserrat. How many people live in Montserrat? How many kind of trial for the team? What kind of results have you had?
Basically, there's only 5,000 living on the island, but majority of the national team live in the UK or abroad, playing football in different leagues and stuff like that.
Who have you played? Any big wins?
Wouldn't say really big wins, but we got some good results against decent sides like Grenada, El Salvador, Antigua, even Antigua, yeah.
Even Antigua, yes. We've got some Antiguan representation in this team as well. What are your hopes in football? Here you are playing on a Saturday afternoon in Cheltenham, representing Hartbury College as well. What are you kind of aiming for?
First thing is just to have fun, go out there, and development has, for me, from a personal perspective, is just to develop and become the best footballer I can. I've been in the under-20 setup for my country already, so I want to progress and push on to the national side. Hopefully play semi-pro, professional football in the UK, and just enjoy the game of football.
Hi, I'm Ricky Santos. I'm the chairman of Generation X Football Club in Antigua and also here in Gloucestershire.
In Antigua and in Gloucestershire. So tell me why this club was set up and why you wanted to set it up.
We wanted to give our lads back home the opportunities to showcase their talent up in England, whereby we do have a lot of connections with a lot of clubs. It is difficult to get them trials up here. So if we had our own club here, then it will be that much easier, because then we'll just facilitate them to come up here, play, get exposed, and hopefully go up the ladder to a higher level.
Tell me about your background and your links to Gloucestershire, and so why this has been set up here in Cheltenham.
In terms of setting it up in Gloucester, my wife is from Gloucestershire. So we decided that if we set it up in the area where she is living, because I travel back and forth, and then it'll be much easier to manage it. And the reason for Cheltenham Town, and I was very pleased to come in contact with Antoine Thompson, who is the manager for Cheltenham Town Academy. He's from Jamaican parentage, so he'll have a grip on our culture back home and what it's like and so forth. So the players will feel a little more comfortable when they come up here.
Yeah, so he's playing at the moment. He's on the pitch. We've spoken to him before the match, and you've got 2 players from Montserrat, 2 from Antigua so far. I know they're studying, aren't they, at Hartbury College? There's their sort of link to come to the country, play for Hartbury, but also play for a club. 2
of the lads, the 2 from Montserrat, going to Hartbury. The other 2 have come up here specifically to play for us, and then hopefully they'll go on to higher things. The reason why they came to Hartbury is because back home we have had annual trials for universities where we brought in coaches from universities in the States and Hartbury in the UK, and they were scouted there, and that's how they ended up at Hartbury.
And so I guess, the ambition of players in the Caribbean, particularly Antigua. We've got some Montserrat players here too, and their ambition is to play in England, and this is a starting point.
Let's face it, everybody wants to play in England. It's the home of football, and that's their ambition back home, is to come up here and play. So if we can facilitate it, yes, it is an expense and a personal expense, to be honest. We have no sponsors as yet, of course, because this is our first year. But it's a passion in me to offer these lads, particularly from back home, and the opportunity, as I said, to showcase their talent.
Yeah, how are they finding adapting to life here? We spoke to one from Antigua who's just noticing the cold. They've mentioned the weather.
Yeah, well, that's one of my biggest drawbacks. It's because I haven't climatized yet, and I've been coming here for 30 years.
Oh dear, really?
I have plenty of layers right now, but they've climatized relatively well, to be quite frank. But they're young, so and they're hungry and want to get on with the football career. I'm very passionate about the educational part of their career too, because if we could be realistic, a football career or any professional sports career is short. So I always try to encourage them to go down an educational part also, not pursue their football dreams, but also I strongly recommend that they do an educational component.
Great stuff. Really interesting meeting Ricky just the other day. A businessman, also the Antigua and Barbuda ambassador for sports and sports tourism, lives here in Gloucestershire and has decided to set up this new club called Generation Next in Cheltenham. I went along to watch their match. It did go pretty well. Poor Andoversford, 7-0. They're near the top of the table, actually, Generation Next, and they play in Division 2 in Cheltenham. As you heard, they've got 2 players from Montserrat, 2 from Antigua. Hopefully they'll have more from the Caribbean with time, but the rest of the team is development players at Cheltenham Town, so it's kind of a chance for them as well to get some league experience, and the Caribbean players get to play in English football, get used to the conditions, very different conditions, and actually interesting talking to them about the pitches as well and the quality of the pitches. They're noticing huge difference playing over here in Gloucestershire. So great to meet Ricky. Thanks to Ricky for telling me about the club. It's just really interesting to find out what's going on in our local grassroots football. So thanks to Ricky and everybody else there who I met there at the Generation Next match.